We're recording.
We're live.
Whoops.
Welcome, viewers.
Hello, everybody.
You just caught the tail end of a little pre-show repartee.
Fetch.
Happy Friday, Eric.
Happy Friday to you, my friend.
I think we should get straight into it. We've got quite a lot to cover.
You've been slowly but surely adding all these items. I mean, I delivered 2 little jewels to you, and suddenly we have like a sandbox full of stuff. So
yeah, it's kind of bits and pieces this week.
Yeah.
There's some vaguely interesting stuff. Anyway, let's just rattle through it.
We do it.
Let me share my window. So the first thing that caught my eye this week, I don't know, did you see this? So Lamborghini have launched an app for the Apple Vision Pro, which is Apple's stupid, augmented reality headset thing. And so the gist of the app is you go in. In fact, look, I've got actual footage. This poor sod went online and did it.
Great.
But so you go into the app and it shows you their cars.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be, a sort of, it's a virtual experience. Get close to.
Yeah.
But I just saw this and I thought, this is the most, who is this for? This is, I guess the reason I wanted to talk about it is because this is a bit like the stupid snap glasses that we were talking about. Like, who asked for this?
We agree. We agree.
What, other than children, maybe, but I guess there aren't that many kids with £3,500
I hope not.
Who does this? Who would want this experience? If you're shopping for a Lamborghini, you're going to go down to the Lamborghini dealership and touch it for real.
Aren't you? Kind of. Andrew?
Well, actually, if you're shopping for a Lamborghini, they're probably going to bring it to you.
Okay. I mean, so look, the only thing that I can conceivably say of interest and of value in this digital slop that you're showing me is who asked for this. It's something that you and I are saying more and more frequently, whatever the topic that we're covering, right, Andrew? And I think in the it's not just in the realm of pure tech, but in the realm of cars and the backlash against screens and functions that have literally overtaken the driving experience when we still have to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the steering wheel and our feet on the pedals. Is this all? Are you literally out of ideas so that anything and everything, like having the Lambo that you can walk around in your pissing living room, is the next big step? I think I'm just sorry for people who, like you've said, have to come up with this stuff because they've got a dearth of ideas on let me think, making a more attractive Lamborghini.
Yeah, I can only think there's some marketing director at Lamborghini who had to tick a box. What are you doing for virtual reality?
Right.
But this is, there's no point in this. Do you know what it reminds me of? Have you ever tried, on the watch websites, most of the brands will do is they have like a virtual try-on facility, and you can superimpose the watch on your wrist. And guess what? It's never quite right, is it? I mean, it's just kind of dumb. Like, if you're genuinely interested in buying a Lamborghini or a watch, you're going to go to the dealer and try and look at it in real life. This doesn't substitute for that in any shape or form.
So you said it right, Andrew. Whether you're talking about a couple of hundred or a couple of thousand for watches, or into 5 figures, or triple figures for a Lambo, in real life is the only way that you can ascertain anything of actual value. And the important point for me, the point of principle here, and I think this return to the realm of the physical, is this shows you how far you go, and you remain completely removed from the very thing you're supposed to physically interact with thereafter. So what's the point? I mean, literally, what am I learning? What am I seeing?
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, enough of this nonsense. I'm feeling sick just watching this video. Right? It's just it's dumb. Now, much more exciting. And this is kind of a follow-up point to the one we were just making, and I'll tell you for why.
Tell me.
So we've already mentioned this watch when it was first announced, and I remember saying to you at the time, this is super exciting, mostly because they've got the size just right, and now we just need to sit back and wait for the right dials to come on. But now some of the watch websites have got models in for review, and this is monochrome. They've had it, they've had it in for a week of testing, etc., and you get a bit more in-depth thoughts on the watch. So
for doing it.
Two things that occur to me, and they're completely different. The first is, I am, against all my better judgment,
here it comes.
I'm slowly becoming quite enamored by the actual yellow dial itself.
Oh, Andrew.
Every time I see this, I'm like, yeah, actually, maybe I could. Yeah, I could do that.
But Andrew, do you say it because you generally are developing an affection for the color yellow, or just because the more you see of the watch and know how right and lovely it is, the dial has suddenly crept up from within that frame, for lack of a better word?
It just seems to work.
I don't know.
Like I don't think I've ever woken up and thought, I know what I want. I want a yellow dialed watch, but somehow just on this piece, it just, I don't know, it just works. And regular viewers might recall that I'm insane enough to have a little mood board of all the watches I want, and I categorize them according to sort of what I'd be doing with them. Right. And to me, this falls squarely into like the summer watch category,
So look, I mean, Andrew, I'm definitely with you when it comes to the idea of brightening up your day, your wrist, and frankly, making life a little more joyful for everybody else out there who's rocking white dials and black dials and gray. But boss, and it's a big one, Andrew. I have never seen a yellow dial that's worked. That's not point number one. It's just flat off.
You're telling me this doesn't work?
Well, I just think it cheapens all the rest of the work that they've done. I mean, I kind of look at everything else thinking, oh, this is so good, baby, give it to me. And then suddenly I pull everything back and go, oh God, yellow? But also, Andrew, that shade of yellow, it's not just any shade of yellow, right? It's this particular shade. We have to see it, again, we got to see it in real life. And as a reminder to folks, do you remember when Rolex rocked out the summer Daytonas? Do you remember they had these like wonderful dials? They were a variety of different colors. They had blues. I think there was a purple. There was a mother.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never heard of summer Daytonas. This doesn't sound like an official Rolex thing.
It only underlines your ignorance, but I think it was in the 2010s they rolled all this stuff out, and they were on leather. They were on leather straps only, limited production, and they're starting to come back on the collector scene for the moment. That's how you do color right. Yellow for me, Andrew, is just begging for trouble. It's such a difficult color to A, wear, and B, to pull off. And frankly, I'm sorry, but this is not convincing me.
No, you don't think? I mean, I agree with everything you said. It's definitely. I guess that's kind of the appeal. It's a bit of a fuck off type thing, isn't it? It's like, look at my.
I can do this.
But that was only okay. So that was only my first point, and you know what? You've already kind of steered me away from. You brought me back to reality. I don't think I would actually throw down. I did go to the IWC boutique a couple of weeks ago though, because like you said, I wanted to see this thing in the metal. And
wait, you went to the IWC boutique to see?
Sorry, the Tudor boutique.
You're getting a little old there. Sorry, don't worry about it.
No, well, it's because they're literally across the road from one another. Anyway, I went to the Tudor boutique. I said, I'd like to see the Bumblebee, and the guy just laughed at me. He said, no, we haven't got any in.
Wait, hold on, Andrew. Did he laugh in kind of like a funny, jovial way, or a sort of get lost, are you out of your mind?
Well, I was clearly not the first person to walk into the boutique that day and say, "Can I have a look at the Bumblebee?" It's like I feel so sorry for those poor bastards who work at the Swatch shop. When they release their AP thing, and then they just get inundated by the same question. Anyway, but so his response was, "Well, if you want, you can put your name down for it." And I was like, "No, I don't want to put my. I just want to see it. I don't want to, Anyway. Okay, but that was only the first one. But the second point I wanted to make about this, back to you really need to try these things in real life. I have been through all the reviews and I've sort of read the videos and looked at it in more detail. And I think the change of dimension as measured on paper, doesn't really do this piece justice. The slight reduction in size has transformed this watch.
I hear you.
It's all of a sudden the dimensions are just absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
They're almost Daytona-like in how elegant they are.
Perfect. Which is what we wanted all along, right?
Yeah. It's really impressive. I can't wait. Basically, I want them to do two things to this smaller size. And look, this photo is great. It really shows you that that's the same watch, and yet the watch on the left is ever so slightly cheap looking and clunky and just not quite right. And the watch on the right is just fucking perfect.
Andrew, 100%.
What is it, 2 millimeters difference, I think?
Yeah, but also the work on the crown and shit.
Exactly.
It's the whole thing. Like you say, subtle differences turn out big in this case.
Yeah, that's right. They haven't just made the case smaller. They've fixed everything else. They've also, I hadn't noticed this until I started reading these new reviews that have come online. Even things like the seconds chapter markers on the dial have been adjusted. The dial is not the same. It hasn't just been made smaller. They've adjusted it.
Andrew, 100%. I have to say, can I say one thing in favor of what I'm seeing on the left? It's just because you're showing it right now. I prefer the font in the original and for the subdials. Fonts on the subdials on the left, I think are just that little bit better and a little bit more special than what I have on the right, which looks a little bit. Everything else is great.
So I kind of agree with you, except I imagine they did that for a reason, and this is all about proportionality. And I would guess that if you just use that same font on the smaller watch, it wouldn't work.
That it wouldn't work quite right. But Andrew, isn't it a great? Andrew, it's a great reminder. Everybody's a critic, right? But when you and I sit here and we do more than a superficial analysis, you actually start to realize this is a composition. And it's why you and I have a lot of critiques sometimes about the designs that we're looking at, because there's such glaring errors that are made that you and I stand there and go, how could you let this through? In this case, everything shrinks a bit, everything gets tweaked, it gets a little touch, a font change, even the positioning of the numbers they use in the minute counter. Is it in the minute counter? Yeah, on the left.
Yeah.
No, it's the seconds counter, I'm sorry, on the left. The subdial, it's 20, 40, 60 in the new Bumblebee. It's 15, 30, 45, 60. Just little things, little touches.
Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely right. So that's why I wanted to bring it up again. I didn't think we'd done it justice the first time we mentioned it, and I hadn't myself realized how much work Tudor have put into downsizing this watch. It's much, much more than just the dimensions on paper.
So Andrew, 100%. Look, let's cut to the chase. Give us a white dial. You're the first guy who's going to walk in there. And when he says, "No, sir, we don't have one, but would you like to put your name down?" You say, "Damn straight, I will. Put it right down here."
Yeah, you're almost right. There needs to be it would have to be the white dial, but I would also hold out until they put a Jubilee bracelet on this guy.
Oh, JJ, you're not.
Which I imagine they're going to do. In fact, they must have one that already fits this size.
Well, they have one for the previous gen chrono, right?
Yes.
Which we love. The Opaline white dial with Jubilee, you and I were fans of. Yeah. But now that this has happened, we're finally like, great, Tudor can finally get out of Rolex's toilet bowl. And it's about time.
Incidentally, even the Oyster bracelet, the new Oyster bracelet on this is much improved. They've taken away the faux rivets that had. Yeah. And so it's and to be honest, I love that Oyster. The only reason I want the Jubilee is because I've already first world problems. I've already got too many Oyster bracelets, or in my. I've got that covered. I'd just like something a bit different. So.
I know it. And Andrew, one remark about the Jubilee bracelet. When I was younger, and we were starting the watch collecting, it was only the Oyster for Rolexes. I hated the Jubilee. It was this old men. You and I would see. It got our friends' dads sports crap, and sometimes regrettably two-tone, which is even worse. Yeah. But over time, what I found is the Jubilee bracelet lifts slightly a very subtle, quiet design, especially on date justs, which I think look phenomenal with Jubilee bracelets. So,
Eric, you're right. They are old men bracelets, and guess what? Newsflash: we are now old men. Which is why we're sitting here going, "Oh yeah, I quite fancy a Jubilee bracelet."
I love it, man. Isn't it great?
I also quite fancy buying a Mercedes. I mean, I'm clearly an old man.
Every day.
Okay, let's let's move on.
All right.
Next.
Okay. Oh no, 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 but
Okay.
all right, but hold on, bear with me.
This is one of your stories, so you're going to have to talk us
Yeah,
through
yeah, yeah.
this.
Okay, look, listen, Andrew. This is a rich person's personalized vehicle. It says "f off" louder than anybody or anyone else could ever imagine. So limited use, limited appeal, and it's electric with a limited range. And it has no protection. The idea is that it has a patina, open air approach. It's doing an entire thing all by itself. And look at the fun the rich people are having, Andrew.
But
They don't
so
care.
this is, but explain what this just looks like a golf cart. Are these road legal?
So street legal, you got it, buddy. It's an electric vehicle. Look at that.
You
Isn't that
love
fun?
cars without the basics like windscreens or doors, don't
I know,
you?
but Andrew, moving through coastal towns, villages, and communities of the wealthy with big gates and security guards, you can amble around at your leisure. And Andrew, you can spec this car any way you want. Look at how little it has in it. And I'm going to get to the serious point now. Sure, this is dicking around, it's fuckery for the wealthy. But when we compared the entire design approach on the Ferrari Luce, which they made such a freaking song and dance of, and which we struggle to reconcile with Ferrari, look at the harmony here. Look at the consistency between the design brief, what this car is supposed to do, and the integration of said elements. For me, this kills those guys at their own game. This is how you integrate this sort of stuff.
It does look really nice. I agree. Yeah, I can imagine driving one of these around Ile de Ré or the Hamptons or something.
Yeah, for example, yeah.
But you're not going to commute in it, are you?
No, but Andrew, it's one of these cars where they're openly embracing of it's going to wear and tear. Look at how the seats fold. It can do what you like, when you like, how you like, and it's not trying to impose a design philosophy on an inappropriate vehicle, which is what I think the problem was with the Ferrari Luce. That was my serious point.
Well, and good news, no doubt for an additional charge, you can buy doors. They call it weather protection. Yes.
Of course, but Andrew, it's like the Citroën Meriva, right? Which is just gorgeous, utilitarian to a fault. It's so much fun. It's a breath of fresh air, and it reminded me.
Top speed 65k.
Yeah, what, the price or this top speed?
No, top speed 65k. Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you about the price.
Andrew, if you're ambling around, I don't think you need more. It's probably best we don't get into that.
Shall we reserve one?
Oh, Andrew, there it is. 20 grand.
To be honest, I was expecting more.
Okay, but can we just agree this is a proper alignment of purpose, design, pricing, and a brief that for me works. It's completely
who makes
freaking
this
coherent.
thing? Is this it doesn't look Chinese, it looks European. Who makes it?
That's a very good question. No idea. I hope it's European.
You are as prepared as ever.
So Andrew, I'm open air driving and I'm on and off the road, buddy. I can't know all the details.
Okay, I quite like this thing. Do you know, I was fully expecting you to come and go, oh yeah, it's 40k, but 20 feels better.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you agree. We can amble on, buddy, to the next bit.
Well, let's amble on because I have an alternative. You want cheap and cheerful electric vehicle?
I'm afraid now. What are you going to show me?
What about this?
Oh, dude, hold on, it's glorious. I love this kind of stuff.
Look, this is the Fiat Topolino.
Topolino is magnificent.
It's on sale for $14,000.
Nothing.
Okay, and as our friends at Gizmodo say, it makes your designer golf cart look like an expensive joke. Look at it.
Oh no! Don't say that.
Look at it. It's great. 14K. They haven't got many photos.
Okay, but Andrew, isn't there something very? I'm not sure. I like the cord keeping you in. It looks like it should keep you out of the VIP club or some shit.
Well, yours didn't have anything. Yours is completely open.
But by the way,
at least you've got a little. You're right. At least you've got a little rope to keep you in.
I think that's a little bit silly. but I think what we're saying here is if you pare something back and something is truthful and honest about its mission, and the design works to that end, look how prepared you and I are to entertain things that ostensibly are silly.
Yeah. To be honest, I mean, I think that's kind of fun, but I think I'd probably go for yours. Yours is nicer, isn't it? That's cool.
Oh, the amble's the real deal, dude.
Okay, we are rambling.
Yes.
Let's move on. Back to watches. From you. Oh, not again. Longines again?
So, Andrew.
What's this?
One could say that I have been unwittingly infected by the Longines virus. It started from a place of hatred. It started from a total disregard and I think a kind of a begrudging, oh, they've done some things right? That was the one piece that I was trying to relay the last time. I wanted to present this to you because it does two things that are noteworthy. The first and most important, beyond the watch itself, is I have yet to see a better integration of a power reserve function in any watch I've ever seen. And I've owned a few with power reserves. I've owned an Audemars Piguet dual time. I've owned a Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Control Geographic, also with a power reserve. So I wanted to point out to our free viewers, look at what they've done here. The number of hours centrally located, instead of being jammed into a corner with some unreadable triangular measuring mechanism, you can actually use it to.
I can't read that. What is it telling me right now?
The number of hours. There it tells you you've got, what is it, 16 hours left? Do you see, Andrew?
Oh, is that what it's telling me? Oh, because the little arrow at the.
So you're right. Does the thick rectangle, does that indicate where the power reserve currently is? Or does the tiny end? I actually couldn't tell you. I think it's telling us 16 hours.
That's great design. That's great design. You don't know which end of the stick it's pointing at.
I didn't say I could read it. I said that it's extremely well integrated, and I love it. I think it's superb. Now, but hold on. Let's move out. The rest of the watch is pretty fantastic as well. This lovely pale blue color they've chosen for the dial. The overall proportions, I think it's a 38 mil, Andrew, or 39 if I'm not mistaken. A $4 grand and a smidge price point. Wait a second. Now we're talking Longines doing something nobody else has done, rather than reheating the designs of the past.
I've thought about this long and hard, Eric. I don't think there's a single aspect of this watch that has any appeal to me whatsoever. I think this is one of the nastiest pieces of shit I've ever seen. I think it's hideous. And furthermore, if you want a cool watch with an enticing light blue dial, I've saved the best till last. We'll get to that in a minute.
Sure. Oh,
but no, this is hideous. This is hideous.
Andrew, you're sounding like a big man with a plan. You better show me.
Okay, before I get to blowing this Longines out of the water, I want to make a quick pit stop at Ferrari.
Oh,
because I thought this was
We're so sick of them, Andrew.
No, this is very interesting, and you'll like this little part of the episode because I want to turn to you for your hard-earned expertise. I mean that seriously. You're a much more serious driver than I am, particularly on track. And I thought this was a very interesting move by Ferrari. You know what this is about, right? Of course. Okay, so this is an automatic. This car has an automatic gearbox, but they have synthetically recreated the feel and the mechanism of changing gears manually. Yes. It's all fake.
Yes.
But it is designed to give you the And I just wondered what your take on this was. Because by all accounts, the people who have tried it so far, I don't think they've done. I haven't seen anyone do a proper test drive, but they've had a play with it in situ. Apparently, it's been extremely successful in terms of replicating the resistance on the so-called clutch pedal and through the gate of the actual gear. And I just wondered what your take on this was.
All right, look, Andrew, I'm not going to be purposefully aggressive about this kind of stuff or purist. I think that there is very much a place for this kind of tech. I'd like to hat tip to Koenigsegg, which did this kind of stuff many years ago.
They did it first, right?
right? So Koenigsegg did it first. And it was a very clever idea because it said, look, guys, if you're buying a car of this level of performance, there are times you want to amble around town, you don't want to shift. There are other times where you really want to feel like you're interacting. So in this case, if the synthetic can give me the best of both worlds, and there are enough folk who want to play with a fake clutch, why not? Okay, why not? Third point, mechanically, they couldn't find, I think, a transmission that was manual that would deal with the amount of power this thing was running through it, Andrew. So there's a very real limitation about how much power you can run through a physical clutch. And I get why, yeah, especially this thing's putting out what, 800 horsepower or more.
Yeah, so I don't know what the output is, but you're right. They couldn't, like, there was no manual.
Yeah,
they couldn't make it manual.
You can do it. So, okay, Andrew. But again, I think the newer generation are all like, no, I just want to pull it back on some, plinky plonky paddles and let the car do the work. So again, I'm a little unsure as to who's going to kind of say, oh, but I want both, sir, including.
Well, so you're right. This is just a really over-the-top, over-engineered, overly sophisticated version of paddles.
Yes.
That used to be the compromise. It's an automatic, but we're going to give you some paddles so you can feel like you're changing gears.
Yes.
And this is just an extension of that same philosophy.
Yeah.
I've had powerful, fast cars with paddles. And do you know how often I use the paddles? Yeah. You use them once or twice to see how they work, and then you just forget about them.
Andrew,
at least I did.
I'm with you, dude. Also because automatics have become so good and so seamless and smart enough not to let you down. Why do it? I mean, you mentioned the track before, Andrew. Yes, I can see on the track if you've got yourself a Porsche GT3 RS with the PDK transmission and you want to control it better with your paddles. Okay, fine. But in reality, who gives a damn? I mean, let the car do the work.
So you wouldn't spec it like this. You'd just go for the automatic if you were buying.
Oh, I wouldn't even buy the automatic. I'd get a classic Ferrari with
yeah, okay, yeah, of course. But if you had...
Andrew, I would skip it, but I don't invalidate the thinking behind it. Why not? You can offer it. Okay, fair enough, do it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I came out. I thought, okay, yeah, clever.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, this is all about just creating sensations and elevating the experience. And whether it's real or not kind of doesn't matter, right? It's a bit like fake noise in EVs, when they pump fake noise into the cabin to give you a sense of acceleration.
All right, I know, but no. I'm not in 100% agreement that, well, then it may as well be synthetic because it gives you more sensation. I don't think you're lacking sensation in a fully automatic version of this car. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like you were struggling to connect with the vehicle beforehand. So
Well, hang on. I agree with that, but I've always been very comfortable in automatics. You're the one who's always insisted on wanting a clutch and wanting control over the gears.
Look, I'm driving a 15-year-old Lexus hybrid, a GS450H with a CVT, a continuously variable transmission.
No, but I mean when you're properly driving,
when I'm properly driving, manual. Always.
Yeah, exactly. So I would have thought you'd be all over this.
I don't know, Andrew, because the part of all the things that I used to be resistant about, the slow, slurry automatic transmissions, are a thing of the past now. You can get such good automatic gearboxes that's why I kind of think, I don't know, Ferrari, maybe do a better job at the Luce and don't screw around with this stuff. Just an idea. Listen,
it's for your next birthday. If I was going to buy you a 911, how would you like it spec'd?
Manual. A GT3 Touring manual.
Yeah, okay. You've answered.
Does that work for you, Andrew? And your wallet? Right.
Now, we've got 60 seconds for the last item. So you want to see a really, truly breathtaking piece of design, a watch with a lovely blue dial that's going to blow you away?
I'm afraid.
Come on.
Wait, hold on a sec. Are you serious?
This is the new IWC Ingenieur 35 mil, and this color is cool. They're calling it pool.
Wait, sorry. They're calling it what? An algae-ridden pool, or what?
It's beautiful. Are you kidding me?
Wait. Hold on.
Look at that.
Are you kidding me?
Look at that.
Are you serious? Wait, Andrew, are you telling me you actually dig this piece?
I love it.
I literally, and so
And I thought you would love it because it's small. It's a woman's watch, really. So it would suit you.
no. Oh, hold on. You know nothing about me. I've walked on a garage tiles more attractive than that dial. What are we talking about? It reminds me of Trump's freaking, pool in front of the Lincoln Memorial. What are we doing here?
Well, listen, I've got more bad news for you. We haven't had a chance to talk about this yet, but the reason I confused Tudor for IWC earlier is because during that same day out, I did pop into IWC, spent quite a lot of time there, and tried on a number of ingénieurs, and I'm like head over heels about this watch. Now, I tried on the 40mm version, and I tried it on in what they call aqua. So this is new. It's smaller. It's 35mm, and this color is called Pool. And to be honest, when I first saw it, I just thought, what a perfect summer watch. But they're obviously aiming this at women. But actually, even the CEO of IWC is wearing it on his Instagram account. Lots of men are wearing it. It's very much the trend, back to smaller watches for men.
Well, Andrew, yesterday I was sporting a 1954 Seiko. Do you want to know what the case diameter was?
34?
27 millimeters. 27. So I'll outwoman every man wearing a woman's watch. I'll tell you that.
I mean, all jokes aside, I don't mind a smaller watch. My problem is I can't read the damn things.
So the watch I just mentioned at 27 millimeters, it's got basically a military style design with very large Arabic numerals and large hands. At 27 millimeters, Andrew, get ready for this. I own watches up to 42 millimeters. It's the most legible at a distance watch I have at 27 mils.
What? But why is it so legible? Just because the design of the...
It's purely because of the design of the hands and the dial itself. This dude, I really, really don't like it, in case you or the three people watching couldn't tell.
So hang on. So you don't like the Ingénieur full stop, or you
Period.
don't like the new...
Period.
You don't like the
There are
model?
too many successful designs out there that have integrated case and bracelets for me to even bother wasting time on this. I find it heavy-handed. I find it gauche. There is nothing remotely attractive about the Ingénieur. Nothing. Zero.
I wasn't that taken by the Ingénieur. It sort of slipped me by when it came out. It was my son who convinced me to go and try them on. But as soon as I put it on my wrist, I fell in love. It is the most comfortable watch I've ever worn. It is full of lovely detailing. The bracelet is very close to a Nautilus bracelet. Those polished center links, the brush.
Yes.
It's genuinely a really cool watch. It has so much detailing that you only notice, in person.
Look, my eyeballs are hurting, dude. Can we stop?
Sounds like we've got to agree to disagree.
Oh dear. I'm going to try and be happy anyway on this Friday, but don't you ever bring an Ingénieur up to this conversation again. You're going to regret it.
No joke. It might be my next purchase. Not that model.
Oh,
but
you mean you don't like pea-stained Pool?
No, I think the color's super cool. If they made that in the 40mm version, maybe. Right. Well, we've ended on disagreement. Have a good weekend.
Have a great weekend,
dear
guys.
viewers. Welcome to the weekend. Enjoy it. Take care.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.